What's good, superstars? Back with another VV video. You got Superstar Joe, Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good, you?
Man, not bad, not bad. Guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification. You know, when we post some VV content, you can also become a superstar VIP. You can hit it with the laser like Rob's doing. It gives you some extra juju, but level up through the stars longer you hold on to that VIP membership. More juju you might get and more entries into the giveaways every single month. Follow us on X, follow us on Instagram, join the Discord. Discord is where it is happening. Superstar Money Discord is the Discord of all of Web3, bringing all projects together, intertwining communities and having everybody learn about each other's projects. That's what we want to do. And I think we've done a great job having other people try out other projects. I think we've seen so many success stories that way. So definitely check out the Discord and maybe you'll find something new. You'll learn something. We're learning things every day there.
Don't forget about the Superstar Utility Program. All of our affiliate links there's chats in the Discord. You have to let us know if you use any of our links. We'll award you stars at the end of the month. So you can get gifted some pretty cool stuff. A lot of NFTs, cryptoids. We do McFarlane. We do whatever we feel like that month. So make sure you guys join.
Yep.
So today, huge shout out to Biscuits because Biscuits has recently started a Discord, which is very it's focused mainly on, I would say, VV content, right? She calls it Token Talk here. Joe, it's probably easier for you to read this out loud because it's harder on my screen to read that.
Yeah, so I mean, just backtracking a little bit, we know that Veve has recently had the research committee developed where they took people from the community randomly, I guess, and decided to put them together and have whatever kind of committee meetings and whatnot to help develop the app, make the app better, hear what the community wants in a platform, and then try to build on that. Now we see here Biscuits having her own Discord channel. Obviously, Biscuits is a controversial Twitter voice, I would say. I think that there's people who love her, people who hate her. We love her. We think that she has great ideas and great passion for the space. So hopefully others start to see it that way. But anyways, she starts this Discord called Token Talk. And it says, if any of the Veve Omi community wants to join and have constructive thoughts and conversations, feel free to join. Read the rules before joining and treat everyone with respect. Feel free to speak your minds, but in a constructive way. So not trying to throw any direct shade at any individuals in this Discord. And just it's crazy how quickly she was able to get such a following on the Discord. And the conversation, and there's been, we joined it, and it's just been pretty civil. It's been civil. I mean, a little bit different than what you find on X. I know a lot of people are upset or butthurt, as you call it, for being blocked from certain socials, from being able to participate in official socials. So it's great that she's done this for a certain sector of the community. But what we're noticing is it's not just people who have criticisms. There's people who love the project. It's a great mix of people. And actually, when I went in there and I just started reading the names in there, it reminded me of like the Twitter feed from like 2021 when it was just like everybody wanted the project to succeed. Everyone's talking about the next drop. Everybody, like, it was just those names that you haven't seen tweeting about the project are in there. So you know they're still paying attention. You know that they still are keeping an eye on the project. So in my opinion, she basically has started probably the true research committee, because these users have been there for a while, like 3 years. And what better way to improve your product than talk to the people who are maybe disgruntled or upset for a certain reason, fix those reasons, bring back those people, because those are the diehards. Those are the people who found you first. And those are the people who were singing your praises for 3 years. Now they're upset. Why are they upset? Figure that out. You might figure out something to help improve the project.
Well, I think that Veve needs to have a balance. They know that right now it's the whales, it's the diehard, passionate members who may be classified potentially as moon boys, but we know there's some of them that have spoken objectively, and some would call critical of Veve, yet they continue to buy. So those are the diehards that they need to continue to reward. They need to continue to please, because they are the ones that are purchasing. However, there are also a large group of people who used to be committed to Veve, right? Very, very active in the community, and have since then left. One thing that's interesting about Veve is that it is one of the biggest communities in the space that at least we track. they have a very large community. They had a lot of people come in early in 2021, 2022. And then there has been very little growth after that based on our discussion with Vicente. We had a discussion with a Veve whale. You guys can go find that. That interview had a nice long massive post. But at the same time, Veve could also be one of the largest loss of communities of all the projects that we followed, because the other communities, they may not have been discovered yet, or they may not have had that same level of early success with the first mover advantage that Veve has had. So Veve actually can take this, what could be a negative, they can actually spin this into a positive, because now you have a large number of people who are daily giving you feedback on what they're unhappy about, why they left, and what they think could be better. So it's actually a good situation for Veve. On one half, you have people who are basically at this point ride or die. They are not going anywhere. They're buying drops. They're committed. They're not going to say anything negatively. Everything Veve does is perfect. They're here. Some of them say they just like to collect. Okay. But then on the other spectrum, you have this large group of people, and that's subjective. I'm going to say just large relative to other projects, who are basically willing to just give feedback every single day and just vent what all their issues are with Veve. The reasons for that are different. One of which is that they have a very passionate community. People love this licensed IP. They discovered Veve because of the licensed IP that was available. They bought it. There's more to that, right? But I think when it comes down to the root of it, it has a combination of that as well as the investing aspect, which we do know that the words value and all this stuff were tossed around back in the day. People were literally, reporting loaning money out of their house to buy Veve collectibles, right? Like, you wouldn't do that, I would think, if you just love collecting collectibles. I think there's a big financial aspect to it. So when you have the blend of that fandom with the investing, you get this passionate community that I don't think is willing to go away until their voices are heard. And Veve can take that to their advantage. And if they listen to what they did wrong, maybe they could find ways to do better in the future and adapt and maybe try to claw back that market that they once had that has now left.
I mean, I think we see what happens when people are listened to or heard in a space. I mean, it starts like in our Discord, we have people who love Veve, we have people who are upset with Veve, but it's never really gotten out of hand or crazy in our own Discord. This Discord seems to be targeted more towards those who are critical or have had negative experience, or maybe whatever, like they've left maybe, and that seems to be who the main group of people that are joining there are. Obviously keeping tabs on it. We keep tabs on everybody. We're in the Veve Discord. We're in all the Discords that we know of. So just, that's what we do. We cover the news. And what we're noticing in Biscuits' Discord is that some of the people who may be the most toxic on X, because they get confrontations with Moon Boys or people who think Veve can do no wrong, are not as toxic in this Discord. They feel as though they're being heard. We're not going to name drop anybody, but you go in there and it's not a fight. Nobody's calling anybody names. It's discussion. It's, why didn't they do it like this? Why did they do this? Why would they do it like this? Like, trying to figure out what could have been done differently to maintain their interests. Obviously, everybody still has a vested interest because people have lost money and they want to know if they'll ever be able to recuperate it, I think, or if the project will ever go back to the original days. Like, a lot of stuff that we're seeing in there is just things that people were told, and these are OGs, more OG than Rob and I mean, in the space. They're talking about things that they were told. They're talking about things that Dan has said in interviews or in AMAs directly to them, tweeted. They're talking about things that Reese has said in earlier interviews. Before our greatest AMA of all time, there was other videos that Reese had out there, and things that David said. So all of the things that the team has told these people, some things we didn't even know existed. Like, we didn't even know, and we weren't here for. And the sentiment seems to grow with people who join later and later in the project because other things have happened. One good thing I want to report, by the way, we did a video a couple days ago about how my NFT tracker seems to have lost their data and VVX tracker, and we don't know what the reasoning is. Maybe they just wanted to be quieter in terms of the data front. They don't want to have as much news about how many people are leaving, how many people are around, how much money is being spent, whatever. I did see that Mitch from the Veve team has responded to my NFT tracker at least. I don't know if he's reached out to Rootless Girl or VVX tracker, but it does appear as though they have some kind of wheels in motion to have a meeting and try and figure that out. So that is one good thing to hear, that to know that Veve has been listening to that. But I mean, the direct way to get any information you want, make that burner Discord account, Veve, get in Biscuits Discord, because I'm telling you, it's not as negative or toxic as you think it is in there. And it's just a lot of level-headed conversation about what people think could have been done differently. And I think you take in that, you soak that in, and you bring it back to the board and you say, like, we have this diehard group of people that won't leave and potentially could spend money on our platform if we change things, because they like digital collecting. That's the whole reason they're still here talking. They love digital collecting. They love the potential future of this space. You have that group of people sitting there waiting to come back. You know that they're waiting to come back if you were to appease or listen or do things that they want. Yet we're trying to go to people who don't have any interest or care for the space with the same intention, same way of advertising, marketing. I mean, unless you're going to change the game, unless you're going to go advertise to kids in a COPA compliant way and provide games or experiences that they can play with these things or utilities, if we're going to keep going back to the well with the same ideas and the same product, I think that you got to go back to those people who originally loved the product in the first place and saw the potential for the future. And you have them. You have them here in this group, and their money is waiting to be spent, I think, if you are able to make them happy.
So it goes back to this whole thing about why are you getting upset, right? So like some people get upset, whether you're a fudder, whether you're a moon boy. If someone makes certain statements, you have to reflect and be like, why are you getting upset? I think ultimately as an aggregate, the community as an aggregate, if something is true, you know, the majority of people are going to end up buying into that. So if someone makes a statement, there's no need to get mad about it. If it's completely untrue, that as an aggregate, the majority of the community will not listen to that statement. If a fudder makes a negative statement, for example, all your Veve collectibles are going to zero, and you get really mad, really mad. You go in the YouTube comments, you put like, I hate you, and you start putting death threats. You know, you should look in the mirror and wonder, why are you getting so mad? Is it because the statement was untrue, or the statement was true, and why? Right? As you know, we've done like 7 of those videos, but it was never for any other reason than exposing and identifying certain things that were happening in the market with the gems that made us make that title. And of course, as time has gone on, I think people have been more receptive now to that kind of negative approach, I'll call it, because there's a meaning behind that. So if somebody says, you know, this is a problem, if it's not true, then the community's not going to buy into it. If it is true, they're going to buy into it. That's why it makes me wonder that sometimes on Veve side, you know, we saw the whole thing with Nestor, with that tweet. What the heck was that? Talking about structural issues. You know, we can only speculate because we've been doing videos on this stuff for 2 years, but I'm sure we can guess at a few things when we heard that, what that could potentially mean. So there's obvious, and he also mentioned the whole thing about Omi, about the vision of Omi. It comes of no surprise to us. I mean, it's kind of nice to have verification on our end when we talk about roadmaps, the need for roadmaps, the understanding of where things are going. Instead of ridiculing this question about roadmaps, welcome it and be like, well, maybe that's actually something they need. But then you have somebody leaving the company talking about the lack of vision of where Omi needs to go. So I think that Biscuits Discord for sure is a place where if you are Veve and you're within their community management of any kind, you should join that Discord and take some notes, because people in that Discord have been burned or feel upset about Veve. If you listen to them, and maybe those are the first things on the list you could take care of and solve to try to in the future, maybe they'll never come back, or they will, but maybe the new crop of people who might be interested in the space, they might have those same concerns, but if you address them now, you're good to go for the future.
Yeah, I mean, you made a great point there. Just basically, if people are getting upset that people have concerns, you got to look in the mirror, because You might be the problem of why it's getting so toxic out there, why it escalates on X. Being dismissive of someone's opinion is something that is, I feel like, the most toxic thing there is, because you're telling someone that their opinion doesn't matter. And you don't know what their situation is. You don't know what happened. You don't know their financial, whatever it is, whatever decision making they did based off of whatever statements were made. And then yet you're quick to the keyboard to let them know how wrong they are for thinking in the way that they think. And the proof is in the pudding when you go and you check out these other Discords and you see how civil these people can be. I mean, how calm and cool they could be when they talk. So I think that is the true sentiment of it. I think it's just like you said, people have to feel like they're heard. If they're not heard, they get upset. They do outrageous, silly things. They post GIFs. They make dumb Twitter handles. Because we're not for any of these Twitter handles, FUD Veve and all this stuff. It's more so the message that got them to that point that we care about and want to know how they got there. And I think Veve should want to know that too.
Yep. So guys, let us know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this whole situation? If you're in the Discord, make sure you guys check it out. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. What's your opinion in the comments below? And if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button, join the Superstar fam, hit the notification to get every single video, every single day. And thank you so much to our VIPs. We appreciate you and all your support. Everyone, take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.
Love you.